everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and we are here with another episode reaction of Dead End Paranormal Park Season 2. This time we're getting to episode 5, and last time we had the return of Harmony, which was very unexpected, but not very much welcome. It's like, I enjoyed Harmony. That was honestly one of my favorite episodes in Season 1. And I'm very excited that we got him back. It was another good episode. Definitely really interesting with building on the relationships, and especially that between Barney and Logs, and, you know, Logs getting to meet Barney's family and everything. I feel like it was a very enjoyable episode overall. But now we get to the halfway point of the season, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know if it's going to be important. We kind of got a little bit last time with the ongoing narrative. We saw Fingers doing something possibly evil. I don't trust I don't trust him at all. I don't trust that shitbag at all. I think he is actually very evil. But we also saw that apparently he had called for this other angel, the one we saw at the end of season 1. And apparently they were late. But yeah, I'm very curious as to what this is all going to be about. Like, what is Fingers planning here? Because again, in my eyes, it's pretty clear that he's the bad guy. But the question is, why? What's he gonna do? Like, where's this gonna go? So, I don't know if this episode's going to touch on anything important to the story and to the overarching plot of the season, but we'll see. I don't really know what to expect going forward, so let's just get on with it and hope for the best. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. This was an interesting episode. So we have a time travel episode with Pugsley learning his angel magic, learning to time travel, and worrying about this recurring dream he's apparently had all his life, but has become more consistent since he started practicing angel magic. And it seems to be based around the end of the world, to a point where even his time traveling ends up leading him there at one point, where he talks to the mysterious angel. And yeah. Otherwise, the episode is just, they're on a Ferris wheel, and Pugsley keeps going back in time to try and stop them from, try to stop everyone else from, you know, arguing and just any kind of even small negative things happening to them. The big thing I want to discuss, obviously, is Norma and Badia. And yeah, I admit it's partially because of the bias I have there, being, you know, a queer woman myself and everything, and being very typically invested in queer relationships in media. So, I do have a bit of an investment. So, throughout this episode, we see Norma trying to, you know, admit her feelings to Badia, but obviously with the time travel shenanigans, things keep getting in the way. Whether it's Badia singing because of nervousness, or whether it's something distracting her, or just other stuff going on. But within the course of the episode, at the end, everything kind of just plays out, and Norma finally gets to admit her feelings. And honestly, Badia's response is kind of what I expected. I won't lie. And let me explain why. We got a notable queer relationship with Barney and Logs here. And it's fantastic, it's wonderful, it's great to see them so affectionate with each other on screen and everything. And once they started playing that up at the beginning of the season with Norma, it's like, oh, Norma and Badia. I mean, I already shipped them from season 1. It was obvious that's where they were going with it. But I also felt like it was pretty obvious that, at least not right away, that I don't think it would happen, at least not right away. And this is kind of exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking Badia was going to say that she was straight, that she wasn't interested in girls. And I also knew that she would still want to be friends with Norma, and that she would be very polite and nice about it, because that's just Badia. So I very much understood where that was going. Does it still hurt to see Norma crushed by this and to see her upset that her crush rejected her? Yeah, of course that's sad. Of course that's really upsetting to see. And this is something I can speak to personally, because I've been rejected like this for the same reasons. I've been rejected because the person was straight. And it's sad. It's really sad. But it happens. And I personally have not, like, gone on many dates in my life because of a lot of I don't know how to put it, concern over, like, asking people out. I'm very timid in real life, so asking people out, just the idea of that scares me, because I don't know how they're going to respond. I don't know if it's going to, like, mess up a friendship if they happen to be friends with me beforehand, yada yada. So it's like I'm just constantly, like, anxious about that nowadays, and it's like I've asked a couple people out and it just hasn't worked out, so but yeah, it's like I completely sympathize and empathize with Norma here for being upset at this, but at the same time, Badia's response makes me think that it's going to happen. Badia's response, it was basically like, I think I'm straight. That's kind of how it came out. It's like, I'm straight, or at least I think I am. That's what it means when you just don't think about it, right? And it's like, oh, honey, I don't think you are, or at least you might not be. It's like, just the way that was worded and everything strongly makes me think that she's going to come out at some point, and that she's going to accept Norma's request for a date. It might not be in this season, but I do believe it's going to happen. I believe that there is some notable evidence there. And on top of it, I believe that, sorry if you hear that noise, by the way, I think my neighbor's doing something outside. But on top of that, it's like, I think there was, like, some actual evidence in this that Badia might actually have a thing for Norma, too. This episode, I think, showed a couple moments where it like, there was that hint. I think that Badia is not out and doesn't, like, fully realize she might be queer. And this is just a guess, of course. If Badya does end up being straight, that's completely fine. It's very clear she's an ally, and it's very clear she supports the queer community and everything. I mean, just her reactions to Logs and Barney are enough for that. Um, but I'm thinking she's gonna come out at some point, and she just doesn't realize herself yet that she could be queer. Um, she hasn't come to terms with it. She hasn't come to realize it. She's maybe even struggling with the idea. Maybe even maybe she might even know, but is like scared to admit it, scared to come out. A lot of people go through that, and that could come from a lot of different sources. So that's very possible too. But I think there is some substantial evidence that she has a thing for Norma as well. Or at least that's how it appears to me. Um, and again, even if it doesn't go in that direction, even if they do just remain really close friends, then okay. That's fine. Like, not every character needs to get together, but at the same time, it's like, I think there's some evidence to back it up, nonetheless. And I would still love to see them get together. I would just genuinely love that. Like I said, I already shipped them as it was, so I think it would be cute. But we'll see. We'll see. So obviously we saw more of Fingers being mysteriously creepy in this episode, but more so, the end of the world scenario. Let's talk about that real quick. What was that about? Because that was at the theme park, yet Pugsley had been having these nightmares, these visions, precognitions, whatever you want to call them, his entire life, even before he started training in angel magic, even before he met Norma and all of them, even before he went to the theme park. It's like he always had these visions. What does that mean? And I can see why they could possibly start getting stronger once he started practicing angel magic. That can be explained. But why was he having them this entire time? And this other angel said they were watching him, and that they've been watching him and all the others, and it's like, why? There's a lot of questions I have going on here. A lot of questions. Especially regarding this mysterious angel we saw. I have a lot of things I'm kind of wondering about. I have a thought, but it doesn't really make sense and it doesn't really work. But maybe there's something to it, but I'm not going to say it right now. Mostly because I don't want to end up embarrassing myself if I'm wrong. And, like, very wrong. But I'll just say that I have a theory on the angel. The mysterious angel and who they are. I'll leave it at that. Just based on certain shots in this episode, such as the way that they reacted to Pugsley when he first showed up at the end of the world, and like how they like approached him and everything. So I have no clue like what is actually gonna be revealed or what's gonna be the deal with this all, but I'm gonna keep my theory a secret for now. Because I don't want to embarrass myself if I'm wrong. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, otherwise this episode was just like pretty kind of standard time travel fare. It's like, oh, we keep messing things up, have to keep going back and fixing it over and over. Gravity Falls did this. With the Time Traveler's Pig episode. It's like, I get it. I get the idea of it, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's just nothing super exciting either. You know? Like, there's nothing that's really enticing about the plot. Because you're basically watching the same scenes over and over again, just with slight variations. And so it's like, okay, neat. Maybe I'm just not as big into that as, like, some people might be, but I don't know. There were some good expressions, though, in this episode. From Norma and Pugsley, especially. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where this goes. With the Angel stuff, very, very interested to see where it goes with Norma and Badya. I really hope there isn't like some kind of like plot or subplot that starts now, like with there being like a ridiculous awkwardness between them because of this, where it's like they have a hard time like with the podcast and stuff. I hope that doesn't happen. Either way, either way. We're just going to call it there, though. If you have any thoughts, leave them down in the comments below. As always, no spoilers. I don't want to know, like, what I may, like, have right or wrong in any thoughts, which, again, is also another reason why I'm not sharing my theory, because I don't want people to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't want to end up being spoiled, no matter what, if I am right or wrong. Either way. But, like I said, tell me your thoughts down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.